Hello again. Don't mind the background noise. It's pouring rain here today. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to do a quick follow up to the Switch Up Game Enhancer Bluetooth adapter. Picked it up at GameStop for $34.99. Not worth the price, but it does function pretty well. I had a few people message me saying that they're getting an error message on their Switch Up when they plug it in, and they can't do anything on their Switch until they unplug it. Um, it worked right out of the box for me because I had my Power A enhanced wireless controller already set up to work on the Switch, and you do need to turn on a setting in order for the Switch Up to work right away on your Switch. So what you need to do is go to System Settings, then go to Controller and Sensors, and then you have to make sure that your Pro Controller wired communication is turned on. If you don't turn this on, you're going to get an error message and your Switch is going to lock up until you pull out the Switch Up adapter. This is a fair warning. People who have plugged in the Switch Up adapter prior to turning this setting on and got the error message had bricked their Switch doing so. So this is just a warning. I had not had any issues, and honestly, I just tried to brick my Switch to see if I had any issues because I do have a backup. But yeah, so it was completely fine. It survived 5 or 6 times without the Pro controller wired communication turned on. So I think you'll be fine. But yeah, so once you have that turned on, then this should sync up to any Bluetooth controller. Any meaning, it works only specifically with the Xbox One S controller, which is the Bluetooth controller that Xbox came out with when they released the Xbox One S. It does work with the Pro controller as well, the Xbox Pro, but only the Bluetooth one. There's actually two types of Pro controllers. One has the Bluetooth sync, which this has. The other one has the traditional sync, which has this, like the ones that the old black Xbox One controllers use. So yeah, just make sure you have the one with the Bluetooth and it'll sync up just fine. I did have a lot of questions asking me like why isn't my Xbox controller working, and most of the time it's because they had the black one. I'm gonna show you now how you can get the original black one to work. It's not gonna be wireless though. You have to have a wired controller with the original Xbox One controller. So before you buy the Switch Up adapter, just make sure you have a Bluetooth controller that it can sync to, which is out of the box is Xbox One S controller, PS3 controller, and PS4 controller will sync just fine wireless. If you want to do wireless with the old school Xbox One controllers, the first run, this one you have to get a special adapter for. It's a small black stick, and that turns the communication into it makes it so it can sync to a Bluetooth connection. So let me just plug this in real quick and I'll show you that mine is working fine. So right there, so I have it plugged in. Now I'm going to turn on my Xbox One S controller. I'm going to see it vibrates right away, and there it's synced. So it's working right away. And that's why mine synced up right out of the box, because for these controllers to work, you do have to have the Pro controller wired communication turned on, and mine was already on because I've been using these Power A controllers. Now, as far as the adapter goes, the Switch Up adapter, I haven't had any problems with it at all. It's been about 4 or 5 days now, and I've been using it as my main. I know I said I was going to stick to this as my main, but I figure I have it, so why not just use my Xbox One controller on it? This was an extra Xbox One X controller, or One S controller that I had lying around. This was just an extra one I got with my One S when I purchased it. And I never use it because I really don't have a second player to game with all the time. And when I do have someone come over, they usually use one of these on the One S. These sync up to the One S right away, so they usually use these. So this one was just sitting in a box, so I just took it out of the box. I think I'm going to make this like a dedicated Switch controller. Also, there was some confusion on my last video with this iPega controller. The iPega controller does not sync wirelessly. You do have to plug in a wire for it to communicate. There is an adapter you can purchase to get the iPega to work wirelessly. The 8-bit DOE one, I'm not sure, but from what I read, it'll sync just fine to that. No issues. And I did modify my iPega controller. You can see now I made it mirror the Nintendo buttons, and I fixed the no central pivot. I added a central pivot to this. This is a recycled Xbox One D-pad that I had put in there. And for these, I just swapped them around. And you'll notice the buttons are crooked. That's because I had to do a little cutting to get these to fit, because they have like proprietary slots. So I had to cut some of the plastic on that to get it to fit. But I mean, other than that, it works great. I mean, it functions great. But as for the original Xbox controllers, like this one doesn't have batteries in it, you can see. So you don't need batteries. But what you can do is you can plug in the micro USB to the controller, and then plug this into the switch up. And you'll see that it lights up, and you'll see that it functions. So you can use this with the original Xbox controllers without having a dongle, but you do need to keep it wired in order for it to work. Yeah. So I also had a few people ask me about the manual for the switch up. You do need to go online to get the manual. The manual is not included. There is a small little paper insert that has the website to go to, and I will pin the website in the comments below if you just so happen to lose your manual. If you have any problems with the switch up, it's best to refer to that online manual. It teaches you how to sync the Xbox One Bluetooth controller, the PS4 Bluetooth controller, and the PS3 Bluetooth controller. It also shows you how to sync up these wirelessly with the dongle that you can buy from Microsoft to make it work wirelessly with your Switch as well. But I wouldn't suggest buying that. They're kind of expensive now. It's like, I think $39.99 for the Xbox One, or if you want to do an Xbox 360 controller, I believe that price has gone down to like $12.99. But still, you're gonna have a dongle sticking out of your Switch, which, yeah, it's bad enough having the switch up stick out like that. You're gonna have something like stick out a little further, about that much, for the Xbox One. The other one is like a USB cable that comes out, and it's like a little station that sits there. But yeah, so that's that for that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. All of the controllers do function properly, even when they're plugged in, wired. This one I do plug in wired and play occasionally just to test it out, and all the buttons work great. But this is now my new main controller for my Switch. Since I got the switch up, I haven't even used this on my Switch really. I just had it synced here so I can navigate the menus while I talked about these, and had the switch up unplugged. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just make sure you have your pro wired communication on, and the switch up will fire up right away. If you are having intermittent issues with the switch up, just keep in mind that you do have to update the firmware when possible. All you got to do is go to the website. I'll pin the website down in the description, and you guys can go ahead and check it out for yourselves. The manual is kind of hard to find. You're not going to find it on Google, or you're not going to find it on Safari or anything like that. It's like a specific title that you can't search for some reason. So I'm going to pin it down in the description below so you guys can find it right away. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. You guys have a great day.